Buddy Jackson, and you're in the basement with JaVonne and Terez for old time's sake.
Hey, everybody, this is Kenny Bobian, and you're listening to Brunch in the Basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Hi, this is Robin S., and you're listening to JaVonne and Terez in the basement. Show them love!
Can't deal with y'all. Hey, this is Avery Sunshine, and I am in the basement with JaVonne and Terez, shining.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and you're tuned in to Brunch in the Basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Hey, it's your girl Allison Williams, and you're in the basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Hey, this is Lenny Williams, and you're listening to Brunch in the Basement with JaVonne and Terez, playing my kind of music.
Still in the basement, no longer alone, with my homegirl Terez on the microphone. Music politics are just chatting it up. Brunch in the basement, see that's what's up. You never know who might run through. Legendary artist or someone brand new. You miss a lot when you miss one day. At least that's what I heard somebody say. But it doesn't really matter what whoever says. It's always a good show with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Brunch in the basement with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Let's see who we got today.
Come on, everybody's a friend in my head. I already know everybody.
Whatever it is, it's gonna be good.
One day I'll tell you about me and Shaka Khan, but you know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but she doesn't know anything about it. But anyway. No, she doesn't. She wasn't even there actually. But anyway, but she did mention none other than Shaka Khan as one of her.
Why you gotta say, wait a minute? Why you gotta say Shaka? She did mention no other than Shaka Khan. I'm like, where does your voice go? What happens? What's happening? Even the mere mention of her name. Silence. Oh gosh.
Would you believe I'm blushing?
Yes. Hard. You're speechless blushing. That's the thing. Speechless blushing.
Grazi, I can't help it.
There's a Shaka rehab, you know.
If there's a cure for this, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Our senses, though, Jay. She's got our ears and
I'm gonna send y'all some perfume. I'll definitely get an address. I'll send y'all out tomorrow.
You can send me some cologne, because I mean, you know, yeah. Just in case I should meet Shaka Khan, I want to smell really, you know, nice.
Oh God.
Okie dokie, man. Whatever you say.
I just wanted to wish everybody a happy Shaka Hanukkah. All right, thank you. Let's carry on. I'm sorry.
JaVonne, there's a pill you're going to be able to take for that. I promise not to tell them which way you went, but they're coming for you.
The time, so
And we thank you for that.
Thank you.
yes, thank you. This part, that little piece, I'm just gonna keep and play it all the time for myself. But no, I'm just teasing.
And I think it's time, Terez, to do a little rapid fire with Mr. Richard Pryor Jr.
I think so. So
yeah.
Don't worry, we won't hurt you.
I do owe you. What you're doing ain't getting through. Hey, why do you keep thinking that single thing? Saying I love you, the way you're doing the things you do. I get on it when the season's gonna change. And I know gray matter is another name for rain. If you keep it up, I'm gonna give you up. If you keep it up, I'm gonna give you up. I'm there, you win. I'm gonna give you up for it. Why you keep me worried all the time? Every day, they're so scary, can't be fed. Hey, why you keep singing that my song? Cause around, we'll come to you one day. Even when it's cloudy, doesn't mean it's gonna rain. I know your taxis ain't no horse and buggy. If you keep it up, I'm gonna give you up. If you keep it up, I'm gonna give you up. I'm saying you win. I'm gonna give you up. If you keep it up, I'm gonna give you up. If you keep it up, I'm gonna give you up. If you keep it up, I'm gonna give you up. If you keep it up, that's it. Gonna give you up. That's it. If you keep it up, that's it. Gonna give you up. That's it. That's it. Gonna give you up. That's it. If you keep it up, that's it. Gonna give you up. That's it. Messing up my mind. 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 If you keep it up, I'm gonna give you up. If you keep it up, I'm gonna give you up. If you keep it up, I'm gonna give you up. If you keep it up, I'm gonna give you up. Let me keep it up. I'm gonna give you up. If you keep it up, I'm gonna give you up. Let me keep it up. I'm gonna give you up. If you keep it up, I'm gonna give you up. Let me keep it up. I'm gonna give you up. Let me keep it up. Gonna give you up. If you keep it up, gonna give you up. If you keep it up, gonna give you up. If you keep it up, gonna give you up. If you keep it up, gonna give you up.
Oh, she's here. Oh, what's up, Rusty Pooh?
What's cracking? Woo!
That's me stalling for time.
Listen, let me tell you something. You must have been telepathic in my head, because coming in on you are
Like, I'm like, what is going on with my laptop? I don't even understand, you know? It just said, no, you can't come in tonight. It may as well just said, no, we don't know. No. Somebody else is using your program, actually. It went from a couple of messages. Somebody else is using my program. So I'm like, no one else is. No, it's just me. But I rebooted and suddenly it's
It
just
was like fine. It was like nobody's using shit. You got this is yours. Do it.
exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
If you keep it up,
listen.
I'll give it. Oh, Jesus.
Man.
Yes.
Oof.
That you know, if it comes to one thing that is sure to get me out of any funk or trouble,
What's that?
it's music.
Oh yeah, for sure. Undoubtedly, music and theater, incidentally,
And theater,
saved
and
my
theater.
life. Saved my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Sagey Wagey.
Hey, Sage, Misty J. Listen, everybody, you are watching and listening to WJBR Internet Radio in the basement with JaVonne and Terez. So, quickly, to our YouTube watchers, please hit the bell button and like it, share it, subscribe to WJBR Internet Radio. We appreciate your love and support. Make sure that you tell one person by the end of tonight. And for our podcast listeners, God bless you. We love you. If you have time, if you have space in your woosah and you want to see us and interact in the chat, which is always hysterical. We don't always, or it's hysterical, it's deep, it's fun. We have a whole community here online. If you would like to join us, you are more than welcome. WJBR Internet Radio. So I just wanted to get that out there first. I just want
First and foremost.
and you know what? Let me see. Is it
Forgot to say our chat is so very necessary. I love everybody in the chat. In fact, I do more watching the chat than I will keep it up.
what he say? He's gonna keep it up.
We will keep it up, but it's just the it's the photos that go along.
Give it up. If he keeps it up, I'm gonna give it up.
Let me tell you something. That is nasty Nona Hendrix.
You know, got to love her. Got to love her,
What you
man.
say? That was one of my super duper crushes.
Yeah,
She is a rock star.
amazing, amazing.
Chatterbox is in the
Just want to shout out. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so this changes sometimes rapidly from week to week, but I started watching it again. I had stopped paying attention for whatever reason. But on the podcast, I'd just like to give a shout out, of course, to the USA. That's where the majority of our listeners are, state to state. Everybody, I appreciate you. We appreciate you, especially New York, New Jersey, and Atlanta. Those are our hot spots. So please, please, please continue to listen. And you know what? For I think the third week running, Taiwan is listening more often, more frequently, and longer than those of you in Canada. Yo, Canada, y'all right next door. Y'all really gonna let Taiwan do that? Yo,
Canada has a very, very sexy prime minister too.
oh yeah, oh yeah. But
He's a
I'm
rock
just
star.
saying, Taiwan is beating Canada out in terms of our listeners. And following Canada is France and then the UK. So I want to shout everybody out who's listening to us from all around the world, especially, Taiwan, Canada, France, UK, and of course our citizens of the divided states of America.
Bonjour, France. I have to find out how to say hello in Taiwanese. Is that it? Let me see. Let me see what it say here.
Yes, that will be your assignment and on assignment.
I love languages. Let's see. English to Taiwanese. Let's see. Do you know how to say it, Jay?
No. Absolutely not. I do not. I wish I did, but I don't.
Oh, they don't even have it here. What in the name of disrespectful is this? Mean to tell me they have Zulu and Welsh, but they don't have Taiwan? Oh, wait, here we go. Thai. All right, let's say. Hello. Oh, they spelled it for me. I'm going to find out what it is. Let's see. Okay.
สวัสดี สวัสดี
Swatvi.
All right.
สวัสดี
Swatvi. Okay, we'll do that for now.
สวัส
Okay.
ดี
All right, Taiwan.
All right. Saying hello, hello.
Okay, so Pop was saying he also had to reboot, so you were not alone.
Oh, I wonder what was happening.
It's not you. You know, I can't control that, you know, it's internet stuff, or maybe it could be the software stuff. I can't control any of that. All I could do is come in and make it do what it do. How you doing, LaVon?
We get gifts that are coming. I get to read some special stuff. Wonderful. What can I say but wonderful?
Yes, that is wonderful.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The server outages, so you may need an update. I just updated, because I had to test for, how Verizon comes through and they sell you something and they tell you it's the best on the market and it's going to do laser tricks and all that other stuff. So I had to test it. I wore my laptop down and it's pretty fast. It's pretty fast. Hello, general greeting. Ooh, Pop is okay, Pop. Thank you.
What are you thanking Pop for?
I'm sorry. He's giving the hello greetings in Thai.
Oh, nice. Res Pop, JaVonne, Misty, your copies of Deeper Things is set to arrive January 2nd. For whatever reason, that's the soonest it can get here. In any case, I'll keep you posted. Thank you so much. We love and appreciate you.
I think we need to get that book publicized a little. We need to get some publicity on it.
Is Pop calling somebody a lion hoe?
No.
Lie, ho. Go ahead, lie. Is that what you're saying?
I think it's Lian Ho.
Oh,
that's
Lee
how
Ho?
you say hello in Thai.
Ah.
What's up, Sandra? You at work kicking it?
You know what? Even ignorance can be sexy or funny. I don't know. Anyway. Sage.
Office somewhere.
Trying to keep up. Speaking about America, what about them? Yes. Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. Mark Meadows and them damn texts. I do want to touch upon it. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I would definitely suggest, I strongly suggest that everybody listen and weigh in and read about it. I'm not going to even give you a suggestion as to where to go to watch to find out what's going on, because people may find that biased, and I don't promote anybody else's shows and stuff like that necessarily. But I will say that a lot of those text messages are coming from Fox News reporters who have been all throughout, including the day of. So they're texting Mark Meadows, who's Trump's right-hand man, saying, please tell him to stop. He's ruining his legacy by, allowing this to go on with these insurrectionists, and please, he's ruining everything that we've been doing. This is the Trump, this is the Trump team at Fox. Okay, Fox News. That is like state TV. That is equivalent to state TV during Hitler's regime. He had the same thing going on with what they called state TV. And here we go again, right? So why is it that news reporters. I'm gonna call them news reporters because that's what they want to be believed to be, but they're not. They're entertainment
with their stinking asses. Go ahead.
Yeah. So why do they have the personal cell number of the of Trump's second-hand man? You know what I'm saying? Like, as a news reporter, you just get to go into the room like a cattle and hope somebody pick you to answer a question. You ask your question, you get your answer, and you go back to your office and you type it up, or you stand outside and reporting. No, these people are like, Mark, you got to tell him, stop. This is not looking good for any of us. So y'all in cahoots. You admitting it in the text. So now they trying to flip it. But the other thing is that there are some sitting senators and congressmen who were also texting
with their stinking asses.
Yes, there's a whole bunch of stuff, and they're obviously in cahoots to try to stop Black and brown people from voting. And we know that Senator Warnock from Georgia, amen, homeboy preached about how y'all going to change the rules, the Senate rules, so to raise the debt ceiling, but you can't change the rules for vote to stop voting suppression and to save our democracy. You're willing to save the economy, but you're not willing to save our democracy. I bet you anything they're going to do something about these votes, because it's getting too much, these voting laws. It's getting too much attention right now. So they're going to do something. Whether or not they do exactly what needs to be done, which in my estimation is get rid of the Electoral College, one man, one woman, one vote, period. Right? That's what I think. But I don't think they're going to do that, but we'll see. This thing, Sage, oh my God. I have a friend I haven't spoken to in probably like a year, maybe several months to a year, whatever. But during the height of, what did they call him? The orange insurrectionist, or the orange something they called him that had me, I fell off my chair when they said it. Was so goddamn funny. But during his reign of terror, me and homegirl were on the phone every night. Do you see this shit? Like it was like, it was rare that we weren't in shock over something else that this motherfucker either did or that they were not able to hold them accountable for, that they were trying to, like the Democrats, they were trying, but they didn't have enough votes, blah, 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 whatever. So they weren't able to do it. We were getting our history lessons. We were getting our, I don't know what, civics lessons and shit.
I don't even understand. We were getting so many lessons in hypocrisy, because I don't understand how we've had many trials come and go, and the only trials that have not been publicized as much as others have to do with the insurrection. Had to do with the takeover. And it's just what are people unpunishable? And you can't, I don't even understand. I don't even understand this. I don't even understand how they can make this make sense.
Yeah, something has got to, I don't know. But there's just so much going on right now. And there's a couple of things that I have my eyeballs on. Things that I think are important, and just because I think they're important doesn't mean that they're important to the world or to what the country says. Sage says, JaVonne, I still have the photo. Okay, I'm sorry, Sagey. I haven't. I just don't get to New York outside of going to work in Staten Island. Haven't been to Harlem, when I go to the Bronx or to Harlem, I go see my mom, my grandma, and then I run back home. I am not playing right now. I am dead serious. There you go. That's me, bobbling head and everything, because that's me. But I feel you. Just hold on, my brother. But yes, I'm there.
That second lady you like.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead with that, because that's the truth. I do like that lady,
Fox covered the threat of the new Black Panthers, and then they did. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So they are trying to twist those texts. They're in the heat of, oh my God, you have to stop these people. This looks terrible. They're storming the Capitol, right? This is what they're texting in real time as it's happening. The texts are time stamped, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did they not think people?
No, they don't.
People.
That's just
No, because they're above the law. Nobody's gonna look at their shit, right? But people, if you put it in writing, it's there forever. Unless you put it on a piece of paper and burn it. Okay, that's it. It's there. If you type it, it's
far
done.
beyond me why people don't think that text messages are admissible. Hello.
Yeah. So, right after that, once everything calms down, they go on TV and they say Antifa is doing this thing. Meanwhile, but they're tweeting to Trump, get your people in order. You know? But it's probably Antifa. And now that their tweets have come out, and they're being held accountable, they're like, so why were you in one moment you're like, oh my God, this is terrible, and then you're like, it wasn't so bad. They were just tourists, and all of this crap.
It's never bad and never anything.
Right. It was peaceful.
The lilies do it.
Right. In public, they're saying it's peaceful, tourists, blah, blah, blah. But behind the scenes, they're like, well, he did stop it. He did stop it. The first thing he did was he sent a tweet. Then he came out and said, yeah, we love you. Don't worry about it. Then he had to go back out. His own son, which is very interesting, texted Mark Meadows and didn't text him because he's smart enough in his dumbass crooked way not to allow himself to be implicated in anything.
If you ever use any of the last names and in a sentence with the word smart, I will jump through my screen.
Well, let's just say crooked enough, okay? He's crooked enough to know that you do not text, you don't email anything that's going to be incriminating.
Well, and so when you think you're above the law, or you think you're just, there's nothing going to happen to you because you're, that's part of the supremacy, though. They couldn't be the supremacists they are if they did not do those things, because quite frankly, they've got momentum on not being held accountable.
Exactly.
So the first ass kicking is always going to be like, how dare you? What are you doing? Because again, that's I think, in a twisted way, a lot of our alabaster mammals feel so flabbergasted and shocked when they're ever held accountable for something because it hasn't happened. Like if you were constantly throwing rocks at a house and everybody gets caught that looks 9 hues darker than you, and they never say anything to you. By the time they do, it's like, you can't nine times. What do you mean? How dare you?
Exactly.
It is what it is, because so now it's like, okay, you're going to be held accountable. I don't even think that word exists in the A's in their alphabet.
Exactly. So there's a couple of things, right? This certainly these people have to be held accountable in some kind of way. It looks like Liz Cheney is trying her best as one of the only few Republicans with some kind of sense of no, we don't want to secede. We need this country to, stand. And we would like for it not to become some kind of communism or autocracy, because it's running towards an autocracy. If we lose the vote, there goes democracy, and that's what they're bending on. Because, and I have seen a lot of these, let me just call it as it is, these wealthy white guys being videotaped saying that, well, the reason why we're doing this is because we don't want to lose our majority. We want to stay in power. We don't want
Share.
this, and this is quoting them, we built this country. Why would we want to allow somebody else to take it over? No, we're doing this to stop. So and which is nonsense and it's ridiculousness. And I just want to say that anybody who is not on board right now with stopping them, if you're not a part of the solution, then you're a part of the problem. Because right now we need solutions. We need to fix this. We need for people who have the capacity to take leadership roles and run for even minor positions, elected positions in your community board. We need for people who want to help develop communities and stand up for our people to take elected positions. Run for something or support somebody who you believe in, that will do a good job, and get them elected. This is the time for that. This is the time where Ruby Freeman, that I spoke about, I think last week, we need to make this kind of thing really known. People who watch Fox News, they still believe she's the woman that stole the votes, because that's the way Fox News reports it. So that woman is still at risk. She's still in danger. Her kids, her daughter is a grown woman who was working for the polls and got her mother to work for the polls. How many of us know people that do the election polls and get that $200 or whatever it is,
Right.
They enjoy doing that. They help. And now, because she's on video, the whoever's the head of it, the lead poll worker, whatever, said, please pull the ballots from under the table and recount those again to make sure we got a good count. She's on video going under the table, pulling out the ballots, putting them on the table, and she's counting them. Trump had that snippet and said that she was stealing votes and changing votes, and that's what that was a video of. It went viral during that seedy telephone call that he had in Georgia with the elected guy, and said, I need 11,870 votes. That's all I need. He said, and what people want to know is, where's Ruby? Where's Ruby? He mentioned her name 18 times. 18 times. Coming from someone you perceive to be the president, someone that you perceive to be the head, the lead, and if he's saying it and you believe what he says, then that woman needs to be held accountable if you believe anything that comes out of his mouth, right? Obviously, we know better, but they don't, because they watch that nonsense. And so that woman, mobs went to her house, coming for her and her children. Her daughter had to change her look. Ruby had to change her look so that they're not easily recognizable.
That should be punishable.
Yeah, her grandson started suffering in school. This makes no sense. This makes no sense. This is what people should be talking about, upset about. And when Black people in power could be, you don't have to be an elected official to have power. A lot of Black people who are entertainers, sports, athletes, and that sort of thing, have a lot of power because they have a lot of ears and eyes on them.
A lot of influence.
A lot of influence. If you're an influencer and you're not talking about Ruby, but you're sending people to Ruby to further intimidate her, to try to encourage her to say that she actually did steal votes? And then you're going to call other people, black people, who are just trying to make a living and who just want this country to be fair and equal. You're going to call people who just go and vote and want things to be right and fair. You're going to call those people coons for supporting the first black female VP who is getting a hell of a time, whether she's right, wrong, or whatever. Then you know what? You're an influencer and you probably have access. You have a hell of a lot more access than I do. A lot of people had access to Obama, so you can have access to her. If she ain't doing right,
Well,
then let's sit down and have a chit chat. But stop with this bullshit about coonery. Cause guess who's the coon? When there are people suffering and being attacked, and Ruby is just one example of many people who worked the polls, who either had to move, quit, change their appearance because these Trumpers have chased them run them out of town. Are you crazy just for sitting at the polls? And
I think I need to go grab something very quickly. You just inspired something.
Okay, go grab it.
I'm gonna grab.
And Pop, don't you grab nothing. I don't grab nothing, Pop. Pop. I know you. Woo, baby. I'm sorry I had to rant, but it just really gets me. And Pop, we're gonna get to this cheesecake that you're talking about, the baking and so much and so forth. Just see if anybody else. This is interesting. Martin Luther King Jr.'s family calls for no celebration of MLK Day without action on voting rights legislation. The family of Martin Luther King Jr. is calling for no celebration of MLK Day without the passage of voting rights legislation, putting pressure on President Joe Biden and lawmakers to act on federal voting rights bills that have stalled in Congress. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. President Biden and Congress used their political muscle to deliver a vital infrastructure deal. And now we are calling on them to do the same to restore the very voting rights protections my father and countless other civil rights leaders bled to secure. Martin Luther King III said that in a statement on Wednesday.
Yes. Speaking of which,
I would love to, Sage. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. Sidebar.
Yes.
You mentioned something in your
my rant. You could call it a rant. It was a rant. It was
okay.
I don't know what I said. Shit.
0761984 Mr. Derritt, D as in David, ERRID. Again, that's 0761984 Mr. Derritt, DERRID. We are still waiting on you to respond to our request. That was supposed to be a Christmas gift. But based on what you just shared, I had a conversation, Jay, and I'll leave the name of the other party out.
With Shaka Khan.
No, but someone just as fiery as Miss Khan.
Oh, okay.
About our VP. So after about a good 20 minutes back and forth, and then it went to uppercuts and jabs, I got, well, Terez, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, I said, well, you get me a number and I'll do it. So called and requested an interview. Got a person that they transferred me to that gave me his I don't know what number this is, but gave me a number for him and his name. And this is who I left the message with and for follow-up. to whether or not that can actually happen. And it's 0761984. Mr. Derritt is who I made a request for the Vice President of the United States to come sit and chat with us. I just want to have a plain English talk. I don't want to talk about what's happening. I don't want to talk about what's not happening. I want to talk about where she is, what's going on, and why is the public opinion of our VP, she's somewhere playing golf, what's going on? I want to be able to ask her the direct question. Are you being suppressed? And I'm going to share some things. That's just been on my mind. So I want her to.
I think that would be excellent. That would be outstanding if she could come through.
You shall see.
That would be everything.
They said
that would be everything.
This is the second of 10 days that we are allegedly going to get a response from Mr. Derritt, and if not, or someone he, I guess, delegates to, and if not, I will be calling back.
That's it. Well, thank you for that. And you know what?
Supposed to happen today, but
that's okay. But you know what, Terez, for that you get something very special. That's all I got. Wait, that's not it. That's all I got.
All right. The question for the night is, where is Vice President Kamala Harris today? All right, Vice President Kamala Harris is pushing back on some of the scrutiny she's faced in the press since taking office almost a year ago. Vice President 57 traveled to Paris to meet French President Emmanuel Macron following a rough patch in the U.S. relations with the country. During the 4-day trip, she also briefly stopped at now I'm going to say that wrong, Delarin, a cookware shop in Paris where she told the reporter, where she told the reporter she wanted to buy a pot, the vice president's purchases, and she paid and the prices of the pot. Okay, and on the same trip, there was also a discussion in the media over Harris's pronunciation of the word "the," and whether she was trying to fit into this French speakers.
See, but you see how they cover her. You see how they cover her. First of all, okay. So, and Pop, you're absolutely right. So, she was in France, and I think she went to the UK. Whatever. She went to Paris. Paris and the United States have historically been allies, right? For whatever reason. One of the reasons America wins a lot of wars is because Paris fights on the same side, and Europe and all that stuff, right? Whatever, who cares, right? Stop fighting, people. Stop it.
Mind your business.
You know what I'm saying? Stop it. Because in terms of countries, we're a big Karen. Okay, so let's just stop it. Okay, so that's number one. But she was sent to rekindle the fires with Paris, which it looked like she did a really good job rebuilding and working on that relationship. Then she went to Canada with your guy.
So why doesn't she go to Foreign Affairs?
What do you mean?
Why isn't she a Ministry of Foreign Affairs or something else? Or
why isn't she? No, well, the vice presidents typically do that.
What was Hillary's position again?
She was the state, the something of state.
Yeah, the Secretary of State.
Secretary. She was
usually something the Secretary of State does.
This is true. The Secretary of State also does it, but also the VP in situations where it's more important, and when it's really important, to show the utmost respect, the president themselves will go and have a sit down with the leader of the other country. So out of all of that, because the Secretary of State is the third in line, if you want to show more respect, you send the VP. But if you really want to say, "Oh, come on, dude,"
the VP over
then
there,
the president goes, right? So while she's there, nobody really was talking about that. What they were talking about was she paid $300 for a pot. Oh, and she paid $300 for a pot. Oh my God. Oh my God. $300 for a pot. Okay.
Well, what was she over there for? And did you know prior to her going over there that we had an issue? We were having problems with France?
Absolutely. Because the orange insurrectionists fucked up all of the relationships we were having with all of our allies. He was cozying up with Putin, trying to cozy up to Kim Jong, whatever, however you pronounce his name, Yoon, who is a dictator who killed his half brother allegedly in the airport, and I mean, like, the people are suffering and he steps on them. I mean, like, people that are those hardcore dictators that still have that stuff from old that you think doesn't happen anymore. Those are the guys that the orange insurrectionist was cuddling up to, and he took America out of those alliances.
But no, I don't think one person did that. First of all, I think that
Actually,
I think that I'd be more inclined to think, as another country that has a body of folk just like the United States, that one president coming through that was the laughing stock of not just the United States. He was, I mean, you had like people in foreign countries. I mean, well, no, let me stop. Countries, you had people in countries other than ours, and they didn't have to be in political office, knowing how bananas he was. I believe that a lot of these governing bodies from various different countries knew that we had an asshole in the office. They knew that. They knew that. So one asshole is not going to change relationships that we've had, particularly, I'm talking specifically about France and Canada. You know, they were saying things to him that they're not saying now. And they were just as invested in getting him out of there as we were.
Right. And so because he was elected by the American people, from the outside looking in, is this what America has become? When you go through that nonsense, knowing that, yes, he's an idiot. Everybody knew that. He was the laughing stock.
But they watch our stuff just like we watch.
But the other thing is that he had the Congress. It wasn't just him, you're right. But the whole Congress was allowing him to do the funky shit he was doing. So it looked like America was turning this nasty curve.
I think that they saw us marching in the streets the same way we saw them.
Right. But now, so what they needed to know for certain is that Joe coming in and this new administration is definitely back to, okay, look, we're not that crazy fool. And that's what she was doing. Our relationships.
Wait a minute. Let me just say this. Do you think for a second? See, and again, like, just the way our television goes out there, their stuff comes in here. And they also have people that they have relationships across the water. Like, this is not Trump and he just changed the face. No, that's too much power to be given that glowworm, really. He did not.
Let's say this. Let me tell you what he did single-handedly. We had allies in the Ukraine, right? And they fought with us on our side, and so we had always promised to protect them. So we had soldiers there to protect them. He moved the soldiers out and told Putin, go ahead and attack. So that makes your other allies that have fought with you look at you. You understand? If he did it to them and the American Congress and Senate allowed that to happen, because people understand, you know, what our government, how it's supposed to work.
How it's been working.
And it didn't, but it didn't, he gave up allies, their lives. He let those people get killed.
Understood. I understand all of what you're saying.
So that made, I mean, and then he was disrespectful to the queen. I mean, come on.
But they know, I'm willing to bet that they know that was him. I'm willing to bet that they
No,
know
they-
that
they
there are
do.
a lot of things that went in was him, because you don't take 4 years and balance them for. You're talking about relationships that have spun the test of time.
Right. And he put a crack. What people don't understand, okay, is
He's
that
not that powerful.
he fucked up so bad. He did so many crooked things. He did so many whack ass things, not just the things that we know about, things we don't know about. I mean, he did so much crooked, underhanded shit that it put America in this position to have to not
We
not
got caught slipping. We got somebody.
right. And so now we got to say, wait up, hold up. We still us. We are still us. This 4 years of bullshit was an anomaly. But how can we truly say that when we have not held to task the people responsible for storming our own capital?
Now
People
let me say this.
People like Putin are saying, look, this is more evidence that democracy doesn't work.
Well, okay, nobody cares what Putin says, although
Well,
but the Putineers, but again, these are you've isolated two stinking ass white men, right? That
Two
are
white men and one Korean guy.
Okay. Well, two stinking ass white men that
and there's some other guys. I don't know the name of their country, but the guy, okay, I don't know if you remember Kosagi. That was the reporter, the American. Well, he wasn't American. He was a nationalist, American national, who worked for our media. Trump allowed him to be set up and murdered by this prince of whatever the fuck. Just so much shit. But yeah, those guys.
I think that one of the biggest things is these guys get off on power and in what they are perceived to be, and the more that we lend our ear and our emotion to giving them the power or making them powerful, I think that that's a real disservice to everybody involved, because we all knew that he was an asshole. We all knew that him, quite like Putin, they're terrorists, basically.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, and the trauma that, honestly, it should be the American people, if anything, should be charging its government for a couple of things, because it has been chaos and confusion for a very, very long time. A very long time. It didn't just start with the last guy, but it's been a lot of confusion. And just because you're quiet doesn't mean the confusion is not a rumble under the belt. You know what I mean? I think things need to always, blow up before they get better, and at the end of the day, there was we needed a relief of trauma. Okay. And them running for office, you made a lot of promises to people, a lot of them. Both of you on the campaign trail made a lot of promises that people tend to want to hold you accountable for right now.
Well, some of that stuff, it looks like they're working on it. They're working on it with the infrastructure bill and the Build Back Better, or whatever the hell. They're working on it. But the first thing they need to do is hold these motherfuckers accountable and get those voting rights fixed. Because if there's no voting rights, they're not going to be able to do anything.
I think
That's it.
I think that item 1 and 2, the voting rights and the reparations, because America has to be held accountable. Something that we're going to keep on having, and every day that we breathe, there's going to be something else that steals focus. If you can come in and make laws about groups of folks, and not to say that it was a bad thing to do at all, because things were going bananas. It was a lot of hate stuff going around while Rump was in office. But at the end of the day, if you can make a law just like that for a certain group of people, I'm sorry. I'm going to say it again, and I've said it over and over again, and I guess I'll continue to say it. America has 2 issues long term. The first, oldest pandemic is racism. And until we get that understood, until we make things equal, until we make up for that, because again, a lot of y'all owe us retro stuff. Period. There was so much free labor given. And at what point? And there are bills on the table that need to be discussed in a serious level, and it needs to be an agenda created. Because you're not just going to be, because it's going to be very, very, my fear is this. It's going to be very, very rough. I don't expect the current two administrators to be able to change all those years in one term, right? I think the bulk of their work may be done in year 5 or year 6, but I'm afraid that they won't get it, because what they are doing right now and what they are, it's more about what they aren't doing, actually.
Yeah,
You know, you're not.
They got it. If they don't fix that voters' right, it's over.
You were elected to do things, and it's not a difficult blueprint. If you just do what you say you were going to do, start there. Get the favor of the American people who have been traumatized by this entire. But last 4 years have been hellacious, and then some. Every other year was something else, and then it went out at a bang. Yeah. So now. And then at the end of the day, at the end of the term, you throw us a damn virus, and then you make us accountable for that. Like, y'all knew some shit was happening. You let it come here. You let it do, and then we find out later on, oh, you helped fund it. So like it's like restoring beliefs and restoring the faith that you have pilfered from the American people. That almost seems like an uphill battle. But if you act like it does not happen or did not happen, therein lies the problem. You're almost counting yourself out. Whether you, let's just say the voting rights were, everything was perfect. There's the way we need to see it. Based on their actions right now, they're not setting themselves up for anybody to do anything but shake their butt at them after 4 years.
They need to fix these voting rights, period.
And if they fix them,
once they do that, well, I damn sure would vote for them. I damn sure would. What? I'm gonna vote for one of these Republicans that want to see us lynched, that want us to not vote, that want to. I'm not saying that they are fixing or doing anything. It's like I had a conversation with somebody. At least with them, there's hope. These are not the ones that are storming the Capitol and acting bananas.
Well, we shall see. Because right now there is a
I'm damn sure going to vote for him, because the alternative is not even an option. There's no option.
Well, I guess it will. You know, I guess time will tell.
Because if the Klan is the option, that's the option.
No, what I'm saying is
that's who the other guy is right now. And
well, what are you going to continue to do? Waiting for your? It's like sitting waiting for your plate to come, and people passing by you in a restaurant.
You're absolutely right, Terez, that they have a lot of shit that they need to do.
Yeah, they do.
But at the same time, they need time to do it. And like you said, they can't do it all in one day. Now,
if I wanted to, before I get to the business at hand, if I knew that first and foremost, the faith of the American people was shot to shit, the first thing I would want to do is address those things. And those weren't a lot of things. You know, there were some key things. And it could start with what you had on your campaign trail, because that's why people voted for you. Part of them voted because they didn't want to see that other guy there, which is not necessarily the reason to vote for someone. But the other part was because they wanted to believe. And I think hope got them in those seats. Okay. But if you want to run the hope card, then keep running it. But then
I don't think that hope is dead. I don't think that hope is dead. But I'll tell you what.
But I think dead, but it certainly needs to be resurrected.
I know one thing, and I will keep screaming it. If they do not fix the vote issue, because I take things one thing at a time.
Okay.
That's how I think, because I take one step at a time. I can only live one day at a time.
Do you think that if they fix the vote issue, that people will vote for them?
Once they fix the vote issue, that depends on what they do after that. That doesn't mean they fix the vote issue. Vote for me. No, fix that first. That's all I want to hear. That's been done. Okay, now next, fix the anti-lynching law. Let's do that next. Or do something about the Supreme Court. Or fix something next. All right, you want to fix roads and bridges? Those roads and bridges, if we don't have the voting rights, those roads and bridges will be turned over to the Republicans to glide on these nice roads and bridges right to the place where they go to sign a law so that our votes really don't count.
And if they don't do any of it, these
It'll
people,
be over. It'll be over.
I agree with you and wholeheartedly, and I absolutely agree with the order. You know something else which is funny to me, and if they don't fix it, then what?
What's that?
That's just what I'm saying. Because
What,
they're
if they don't fix what?
not moving with a sense of urgency.
Well,
to me.
I mean, I don't work there, so I can't say what they're doing. But I think that the fact that Senator Warnock was on the floor of the Senate calling them out like that on the voters' rights, especially after they raised the debt ceiling, and for politicians, that's important that the United States doesn't crash. Okay, fine. So we're not crashing. We're getting some roads and bridges. There's some jobs that might be created, that will be created, not might be. That looks promising. But at the end of the day, if we're not able to vote, then we will be working on these roads and bridges for straight up oppression, and that's it. It's going to be the oppression party. It's going to be hell. It's going to be 1950 all over again, just with different music and style. So, but I hope she does come through. That would be amazing. That for me would be just amazing.
Or send a representative.
Send a representative. Answer some questions.
I know she's super busy.
Yeah, but she is. And to buy that she's not is crazy. How could you be the vice president not doing anything? Even if, God forbid, but even if what he has her doing behind the scenes is mopping the floor, she's busy mopping that damn floor. I don't know what she's doing, and I don't think there's ever been a vice president that I've ever known what the vice president is doing at every moment. I just don't know day to day what a vice president has been doing. But I understand that because she's the first Black, everybody wants to know, and she's also the first female. So everybody wants to know.
That's not why. That's not why.
Well,
And
I'm saying,
that's not why I want to know. I want to know because she said some powerful things, and I felt inspired by her running in her campaign. I thought she was smart. I thought she was savvy. I thought she was quick on her feet, and I don't see her anymore. And I want to know where the fuck she is. That's all I want to know. What's she doing? I'm asking.
Okay.
Not my friend for me.
So she needs to be more exposed. I've noticed that since people have been asking that question and saying that she disappeared and now she's nowhere, like she evaporated or something. I don't know what people think, but she's been sending out a lot more messages like about what the administration is accomplishing, but that doesn't say, that's not answering the direct question of what part she's playing in each thing. But once she answers that question once, and let's it be known, because for example, my understanding,
asking the same question.
Okay, but my understanding is that with the infrastructure bill, she's the one that spoke to the Republicans and had meetings with them to help them to change over. Blah, blah, blah.
I don't know that to be. What I'm saying is this: we can get to the nitty gritty if we know what she's doing, and this is and don't take it as a criticism toward her, because it's something to be said as. Because this is why I'm asking. Because if she's given menial tasks or being suppressed, the American people need to know that, because then Biden has to step his ass up and he has to be held accountable, because we all know directly that the vice president is under the thumb of the president. So if she's not being allowed to do certain things, you know, if he's too super busy, then we'd like to know what's on her agenda. She works for the people. That's a simple question. Simple question. You know, like, and I don't know why people get so incensed about asking what she's doing.
I don't think, but I'm not incensed about it. I'm just like,
not you, but not you.
Yeah,
not you. There's
I'm
a
like,
whole lot of people asking the same damn question. Everybody can't be like, and these are people that are on the side of her. Like, where are you, girl, lady?
I don't feel that way.
That's clear. But I'm just saying. But there are a lot of people that are like, wait a minute, because now we can have we need a Rock'em Sock'em robot. We thought she was that lady. Where is she?
And Misty J says actually her responsibility as VP is foreign affairs, and she's been working foreign affairs. She's clearly been in other countries doing what she's supposed to be doing, and all of that stuff does not get a lot of media attention, especially when we're still cleaning up from shit that happened a year ago or 2 years ago.
Hold on one second. If she's doing so much, right, and she's sending out, you know, what the administration is doing, then why is it that she can't send out? And I know everything is, and trust me, I'm not a fool. I know everything is controlled. All of the messages.
I know you're
all
not.
of the White House, you know, and this is probably a little antagonistic to the administration. My next choice of words, but it's like we know that everything that comes out of the White House in terms of briefing is strategic and on purpose. So, and I know for a fact that she's heard where you at, because she's been asked publicly, she's been asked in press conferences. She specifically wants, the people specifically want to know. She's had people even the what's the press conference lady that, you know.
Oh, Jen Psaki.
Yes, she gets a little, you know, in her feelings, it feels, you know, because she shifts her posture a bit when people are asking. Well, then have an answer. And you won't have to be taken off guard, or you don't have to defend anybody. She doesn't need a defense. She's a public figure.
Exactly. People want to know the answer. And it could be that she's doing some shit that, you know, governments.
I just want to know where she's at.
Governments are always doing some undercover shit, which to me means that some shit that she's doing, that she could come out and give an excellent answer, but that doesn't mean that that's really what she's doing.
It doesn't, but give an answer to something, because right now she's in the milk box.
Most of the shit that the VP does is that incognito shit anyway, that nobody know what the fuck they do. You know, that
Biden was doing
backdoor dealing and double wheeling dealing.
People knew what Biden was doing, and this is, you know, people. Even she cited us from what's the show? What's my favorite show with my girl Kerry Washington? What was the name of that show?
Oh yeah. I didn't really watch it, but I know.
Oh my God, it was good. But Cyrus was one of my favorite characters because he always kept some stuff going, you know, and he was the Secretary of State, right? But anyway, scandal, right? Scandal. So, yes. but I'm saying that, you know, we can't say that everybody.
I want to know where you are.
You know, like okay, anywhere you are, and it's hey, what you doing? How you doing? You know, like again, there may be some unforeseen things that the American people can help out with, because again, like, you know, we get enamored with folk without any kind of. You know, it's funny because I got a call the other night from two people that I know that were together in the same place. And I got a call and I couldn't pick up. So then they sent a picture of the two of them. So I was like, whoa, how'd you two meet up? Or, you know, get together, whatever. And they were at this fundraiser event or whatever it was. And there were a lot of activists there. And they said my name came up. And they found out they had me in common. So I was like, wow, okay, that's, you know, well, what room is this and who's talking about me and that kind of thing, right? So I'm thinking, you know, even though you're not, and I say this to say, even though you're not in the rooms, depending on where you stand, what you do, what you've done, your name can still be in a room somewhere, right? So when your name is in rooms that are political, like the president's names, they know, particularly when you are talking to members of their staff, there is a debriefing of sorts that goes on. So if a question comes up over and over and over again, not just and I'm not even talking about Fox News. I don't watch those bastards. The only thing I watch is Fox Sports. I don't watch anything Fox, right? And I don't really watch that. The TV's on mute when the sports are on, so that's a whole different thing. But by now, somebody strategic that gave a shit should have said something or wrote something on her behalf, because they got her looking crazy in these streets, and I know, and I don't think she's crazy. You know what I mean? I think she's like, again, I was a cheerleader for. I think she's super smart I do not dislike the vice president, for the record, but I need to know where she is and what's happening. That's just, and it's a general need. And I think if she came out and spoke for herself, that would be monumental. If she sent a message at this point on a courier pigeon's tail feathers, it would be acceptable. But something, and because we need to know, because some people starting to say they are starting using that S word, and when you start using the suppression, is she being suppressed?
Yeah, people, I've heard that.
It's out there. It's like, what's going on?
There was something she was on, and she tried to address it, but I wasn't satisfied. I didn't like her answer.
Whose answer?
Kamala.
Oh,
yeah. I don't remember. That's what. See, this is the other thing about me. So much self-disclosure here on this show. But I know, right? I love that. Send a pigeon and blink twice. But yeah, she was on some show and she was talking about people, because people wanted to know, what she was doing, and she started talking, and I was like, man, you lying. I was like, I just didn't feel it. I just didn't feel it. Like that was the answer. Like it wasn't good enough. The answer wasn't good enough. It was fluff.
She needs to be as cavalier and as sassy as she was on the campaign trail.
Exactly. And trust me, I'm not that hard to please. I really am not. You could say something that sounds substantial, and hey, all right, I'm easy.
I want some of that head rolling and that eye looking and that sass that we saw on the campaign trail, saying, "Hey, I heard. Listen," I mean, she could even grab air. Listen, I've heard that some of the American people are concerned of my whereabouts, and rightfully so. I am an elected politician, and I need to be accountable for where I am to the American people. So let me just start here. And I'm not asking you for a chronology of events. I'm asking, here's what I've been working on, because this is jacked up and y'all want this. Here's what I've been working on, and here's where I am. I would be sitting there in my living room like this with the snacks and going, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, whatever she said,
I was Black woman moment. I'm not sure I'm gonna get it from her, but I need a moment. I need some of that political sass that she endeared us with, when the fly was buzzing around Pence's head. I need some of that Black woman sass there.
Okay, so let me see if I can get this on here just for a second and tell you what she said about it. Cause when I get curious, I just fucking I don't.
Am I gonna make a rap about her? 5 seconds.
Well, you know what? It better not be the one sending a publicist to fucking threaten innocent Black women, senior citizens who give me a fucking, let me shut up. All right. I'm gonna be right quiet right there while people rap.
Of mental health issues right there.
Let me just, I'm just going, it's so funny when you talk about rap like everybody here knows that I'm from the Bronx originally, and that's the home of rap, of hip hop. That's where it all started, and I was a B girl. That's what we called ourselves back then when it first started. Y'all don't even know about B girls. Some of y'all do. But I don't think we never, at least I never envisioned it to become what it's become. And on the one hand, I'm so very proud and pleased, and some
Proud,
of it
proud and pleased of what?
where rap has gone. It's worldwide. It, it has taken on a life of its own. Amazing. It's an amazing art form that, as we were creating it, because I would say we all created it, everyone from the hip to the hop, we all did it together, you know. There's some that get the acknowledgement and the glory for it, which well deserved. I ain't mad at nobody. But we were all getting on the mic back in the day, and everybody was biting off of each other. 'Cause I heard some of y'all spitting some of my old rhymes and raps back in the day. Some of
Yeah.
y'all took off, and that's all right. I ain't
B
mad.
girl, B girl, a young woman who's involved in the hip hop culture, especially a break dancer. For our Thai listeners, B girl,
Oh, that was
B girl stands,
that
B
was me.
boy stands.
I have an old picture of me but I'm not putting that one up. But anyway, this is what she put out a couple of hours ago. And she said, "This week I welcome CEOs in my ceremonial office where we discussed working together to address the root causes of migration from Central America. Since May, businesses and organizations have committed to invest $1.2 billion to create economic opportunity in the region." So that's what she did earlier this week. Now I gotta get back to you. Where are you? There you go. Okay. Look at your face. What does that mean? What is that face for? That was her assignment.
I don't know what was assigned. I am not there. I will say this. You mean to tell me with as much stuff that we need here,
that's the assignment.
Okay.
If that is not what that face was, I wish. Well, I do. I was gonna say I wish I had a picture of that face, but yes,
None of them.
no,
None
I
of
guess
them sound like that. None of that sound like reparations or voting rights.
Yeah.
It sounds like that's the voting rights stuff is gonna go on, and they want to be concerned because without them they're not coming back. Jack, that's a fact.
Yeah. So they're not coming. No, they're not. They know. I think they have to know because we know that without voting rights, they're not going to be reelected. They know that. So that's why I believe that not for us and you and me and the people that live in the South whose voting rights are really at risk, not for them, but for themselves. If for nothing, no one else. You know, they got to do it. They got to do it. They got to do something. And they got less than 10 months to do it.
Pop says she cooks some chili with her pots.
Yep. So
I don't know. That picture just seemed like, quick, throw something out.
Well, there was talk about something about Central America because again, her assignment is foreign whatever. So that's what he got her working on right now.
I wish they start treating some Black Americans as foreigners because that's what we would have been had we not been snatched and brought over here.
Kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Technically, we're foreigners too.
Well, I ain't going that far. I ain't saying I'm a foreigner. I was born and bred here.
Yeah, you're born and bred against the will of your people.
Yeah, that's true. That right there's the truth. So now, before we go any further, bars and bosses, you know the vibes at Vegan Vibes. 1356A Queen Anne Road, Teaneck, New Jersey. Pop-up shop, 7 p.m., December 18th. That is this Saturday, 2021. Live music with special guests and vendors. Mark Keats is going to be there. Vegan Vibes merch. SS over everything. And of course, we cannot miss out on the True Aid hibiscus tea by the one and only our Monifa. Straight up.
Jeez.
And Who's a Funny Vibes comedy show hosted by the Queen of Real, Nikki Who. Friday, December 17th. That's this Friday. Doors open at 8 p.m. Showtime is 9 p.m. Free entry. Vegan Vibes. Free parking. Okay? That's 1356 Queen 1356A. Don't get it twisted. Queen Anne Road, Teaneck, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Monifa, our Monifa, okay? And Slick Rick and our Melissa Morgan, December 19th. That's Sunday, 2 to 6 p.m. Open bar and buffet, Jacksonville. 36 Marshall Street, Patterson, New Jersey. It's all going down in Jersey, y'all.
Let me just say something about this particular event. This particular event, if you notice what's not up there, is the price, right?
Right.
Okay, so you talk about local level stuff and getting things moved for communities. All right, so this one is a fundraiser for the mayor of Patterson, New Jersey, right? And he and his constituents do this, I believe, yearly, and there's other events that are going on for the community. So it's a community call out. So if you want more information about where to go, this is a fundraiser. Let me just give you that piece because it is important. And with the fundraiser, of course, comes dinner as well. So the tickets to the fundraiser, and you can go to Red Chanel. That's RedShannell2 at Gmail, and that's where you can Zelle. The tickets are $150 a piece. That's for to get into the venue. And I understand that Jacksonville is popping. It's a beautiful space. And of course, in that is an open bar, and food is also included in that. And it is a fundraiser.
Yeah, open bar and buffet. So this weekend, speaking of community, we have the holiday or holy day. Make it a holiday, whatever. Food outreach. Shem, strengthening, honoring, and empowering me. And Mia, Ministry of Internal Affairs, join hands in celebration of the holiday to donate food to the community. Hear that? Donate food to the community.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to have some sisters from Shem come through one day and explain exactly who they are. This is one of their first big outreaches. And so therefore, everybody support. If you know of a family or someone who would benefit from a free meal, definitely send them out there. That's this Saturday, December 18th at 1 p.m. at Saudi's Temple Church on the corner of 18th and 12th Street in Newark, New Jersey. Shem's mission is to build intergenerational hope, enterprise, and human power through multi-purpose community development initiatives.
Yeah.
Okay, so with love and praise, all are welcome. Get some free food. That's Saturday, December 18th at 1 p.m. Saudi's Temple Church, corner of 18th and 12th Street, Newark, New Jersey.
And that's while supplies last. Shout out to the Sisters of Shem and to Unity Fellowship Church in Newark, New Jersey.
That's right. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No, it's okay. Taking it back to the days when the communities took care of themselves, and back when mamas, grandmamas ran the neighborhoods as opposed to taking care of kids.
Absolutely. Let's do a music break.
Music break.
Can't you hear me calling out your name? You know I'm falling and I don't know what to say. I speak a little louder, I leave and shout. You know I'm crying and I can't get the words out. Oh, I wanna be with you everywhere. I wanna be with you everywhere. Something's happening to me. I've been so sad, acting peculiarly. Come on, baby, you better make us hard. You better do it soon before you break my heart. I wanna be with you everywhere. I wanna be with you everywhere. I wanna be with you everywhere. I wanna be with you I wanna be with you wherever you go. I'll be.
26 on the Hummer, girl. Never seen those. Till you see my closet, you ain't never seen clothes. 3/4 length, canary mink stove. Wintertime stay in and out of mink stove. Himself, Fantasia, the chain. Show enough sound major, ain't it, man? Girl, you the greatest. Do your thing. It's so contagious, so insane.
Baby, we need to talk. I'm not trying to start a fight, but something with us is wrong, and you cannot deny it. Please forgive me for saying, but I'm feeling like maybe your heart ain't in it lately. It's gonna hurt me, but I gotta tell you, baby, why we don't talk that much. When all I got, I'm in your corner, but you don't act right. I'm trying to love you, but you don't act right. Baby, please tell me when you don't act right. 'Cause every other day you don't act right. Whatever it is, let's put it to rest. Let's put it to rest. Because I'm flat out, tired and burned out from all the stress you give me. You know you ain't never had a woman better, but you know whenever you do these things to you, I wish you'd come out and tell me, what did I do to you that was so bad? Made you forget all the time I stood by your side. And baby, I'm really, really second guessing conversation. And on top of that, your hesitation. When I say how I love you and you can't seem to find the words, baby, it's ridiculous. Why we don't talk that much? I love you. All I got, but baby, I'm in your corner, but you don't act right. I'm trying to love you, but you don't act right. Baby, tell me when you don't act right. 'Cause every other day you don't slow down. Baby, can we please just work it out? All I wanna do is talk it out. I promise we don't have to duke it out. So slow down. And baby, can we please just work it out? All I wanna do is talk it out. I promise we don't have to duke it out.
J to the A, Z to the E. They think I don't love you, we finna see. Girl, you the true. Me, I'm a savage. We a good love. This ain't your average. I know you're sensitive. I understand. You, baby girl. Yes, I'm your man. I ain't come here to argue and hurt you. Show your love like a father that birthed you. So into you. Ain't gotta cheat. Everything I want, everything I need. Girl, you're my idol. Had to lace ya. We a good love. Denzel Fantasia.
Why we when all I got, but I'm in your corner, but you, I'm trying to love you, but you don't act right. Baby, please tell me when you're, 'cause every other day you,
So the devil is a lie. Them other girls can't compete with mine. You do it so good, you fuck my mind. You pull it out, then you open wide. You make me want to tap out and retire. Your pretty lips leave me so inspired. I think that she a winner. She could be a keeper, 'cause she's such a good kisser. Got lipstick on my she's such a good kisser. Here's what I'm saying. I done been around the world. I done kissed a lot of girls, so I'm guessing that it's true. Yeah. Make me holler and I bet $1 million. Don't nobody kiss it like you. Don't nobody kiss it like you. Don't nobody kiss it like you. Bang, bang, bang. Don't nobody kiss it like you. Don't nobody kiss it like you.
This girl, she
hero, get that hero, pesos racing yen.
I ain't wanna check off either.
I'm staring at your barrel, pull the trigger, chitty, chitty, bang, bang.
I told her the devil is a lie. Them other girls can't compete with mine. You do it so good, you fuck my mind. You pull it out, then you open wide. You make me want to tag out every time. Them pretty lips leave me so inspired. I think I got a winner, could be a keeper, cause she's such a good kisser. Oh, man.
You're listening to WJBR Internet Radio in the basement with JaVonne and Terez. And I know y'all want to discuss some things that JaVonne is just not going to fucking discuss.
She sure ain't.
That's it. The end. Now, what I will discuss, since we were talking about voting rights, which is paramount in my estimation, I want to do which there are no coincidences, no coinky dinks in this world, I don't think, but things happen for a reason. Things, time is amazing when you think about this. So check out this Black History moment, right? This is going to make you go, interesting. As soon as I can find the fucking Black History moment thing. Here it is. Let's do it. Okie dokie, Smokey.
Rosa.
That's right. This is Septima Clark.
Septima Clark, okay.
Septima Poinsett Clark, often referred to as the grandmother of the civil rights movement. Septima Poinsett Clark died on December 15th, 1987. On Johns Island, South Carolina at age 89. It was the power of the vote that helped African Americans out of the poverty and discrimination that plagued the plains of America in much of the 20th century. Septima Poinsett Clark used the power of learning to give African Americans the power of the ballot box. While working with the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, she arranged citizenship schools that help people learn how to read and become more empowered, not only in passing voting literacy tests, but by creating a greater sense of self-dignity. Remember, you had to be able to read and write and do all of these literacy tests in order to vote, right? So she created schools, citizenship schools, to help people learn how to vote and become more empowered. Thousands of people took these classes in what became a building block in the creation of political, social, and educational growth in communities in the Deep South. Clark became the first female board member in the SCLC as the Director of Education and Teaching. Clark was born on May 3rd, 1898 in Charleston, South Carolina. She obtained a bachelor's degree from Benedict College and a master's from Hampton Institute. Now it's called Hampton University. But I thought that was very on point for where we are in today's history. Today we speak your name.
Yes.
I mean, she did a lot to ensure that Black people were able to vote when they had. Remember, you had to guess how many beans, jelly beans, in a jar, or pass a literacy test. And a lot of people did not know how to read and write in the South. And she created schools and did a whole bunch to ensure that people could become full-fledged citizens, which means they had the right to vote. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, what we're fighting for today. And after the right to vote, once the voting stuff goes forward, yes, there are plenty more things, important, urgent things that, yes, they voted, they ran on. I agree 100%. I don't want y'all to think that I don't agree with what Terez is saying. I agree. I do.
What's a good jostle back and forth amongst pals?
You know, we got to.
Have to.
Got to, right? You know, that's what's up. That's what's up.
I just also would like to have a brief moment of silence for the passing of Gloria Jean Watkins, aka we all knew her as Bell Hooks. That one hit hard today. She was truly a treasure to this country. Author, activist, professor Bell Hooks passed away. And yeah, just prayers to her family, friends, colleagues, mentees, everybody that was inspired by Bell took an L today.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Our list of ancestors is growing and growing and growing. You know, I'm supposed to, well, not supposed to, but I intend to spend Christmas Day just me and my grandmother. Would you believe I actually might be able to get her to myself this year? My grandmother is so off the chain. She said, I said, Grandma, so what do you want to do for Christmas? And she said, I told your mother I don't want a whole bunch of N-words coming to my house for no Christmas. I just want a little 2-foot tree. You know those little 2 feet tree? I said, no problem, Grandma. I'll send you one. I sent her one. She got it the next day. I said, you got it? She said, yep, I got it. Thank you, baby. Now I just want a couple of balls and some lights that I can hang around the house. And that's it. I got to send her this stuff.
Is she actually decorating and hanging stuff?
I guess. I don't know. I won't know until I get there because she don't want a whole bunch of N-words at her house. I said, well, Grandma, can I just ask a question? Because, you know, if you answer the wrong question, you could get in trouble. But I said, Grandma, can I ask a question? She said, sure, baby. What is it? I said, so who are who you don't want to come to the house? You know, like exactly. You don't want none of us to come? She said, no, your brother and all his kids. I don't want all of them people.
Well, you know,
but wait, these are her grandchildren, great-grands, and great-great-grands. Okay.
You're talking to someone who has earned the right at her age to say whatever the hell she wants. I think that's a senior rites of passage. She's not a senior. She's a
But the thing is that she has been, she's been talking like this since she was since before I was born. She's been talking. She ain't never changed.
Well,
she ain't never changed.
That's a real one, because that's why she a real one. Because she ain't change up on y'all. She giving you
she ain't change up at all. She ain't change up at all. She's straight up. Harlem World. Grandma be like, what? Harlem World. Yo.
What was her nickname again?
Walkie Talkie.
Walkie Talkie. Why is she gonna stop walkie talkie now?
Exactly. She will say it.
That's the legendary walkie talkie. Why would she stop now?
True that. Because she ain't walking the way she used to.
Listen.
And them high heels switching and talking crap, but she could still talk it. I'll tell you that.
They say if you did enough of it the right way in your day, they remember for generations to come.
And that is the truth. That is the truth. Because if you ever heard if you ever witnessed my grandmother, I remember being a little kid, and I would look at her in amazement. Just look, like, why you stare at grandma like that? Because I can't believe it. Just can't believe it.
Shout out to Walkie Talkie.
You know. Till next time, LaVonne. Love you, sis. Cause love ya.
Peace and hair grease. Have a good rest of your week.
Yes.
Your grandmother wants to run over some reindeer.
You know that's right.
That's funny.
I said, so can I come? Can I? She said, just you and me? I said, yeah, how about that? We haven't had a Christmas like that, just me and you, in a long, long time. She said, yeah, okay, I can make you some turkey wings. And I was like, no, Grandma, I don't want you. She can't cook no more.
What you mean she can't cook no more?
I ain't eating it.
You know.
No, I told her, I said, I'll bring you some food.
She may have one more in her.
Just like she could say what she want, she could cook it the way she want or uncook it the way she want.
When's the last time you had your grandmother's cooking?
There's a reason it was the last time.
Oh, okay.
Let me just say it wasn't
like maybe she wasn't known for cooking.
You know, but no, I mean, she used to make the best macaroni and cheese ever. I used to live across the hall from her, actually. She got me an apartment across the hall from her, which was a great deal for me. It was wonderful. And I would go like food shopping for us, and she would cook my dinners, and grandma could cook, especially after she retired and whatnot. She had nothing else to do but to cook for her baby. And yeah, that was beautiful. Even though sometimes I would sneak into my apartment and pray she didn't hear me coming in, because you don't always want grandma seeing you.
Depending on what you were sneaking in with.
You know what I'm saying? I thought you was grown. I thought you looked. She could hear you. Oh man.
One thing being caught by mama, whole other thing being caught by grandma.
You know, please, grandmas rule the world.
What you say? Good old fashioned turkey wings, and I'm the little ones, the little turkey wings, not the steroid turkey wings.
Steroid.
You know them big jokers that they listen.
Yeah.
Those little ones, they still make them. You got to get them from a butcher though. Sometimes, unless you have a good old fancy store that has the little ones that you can smother.
Turkey wings are so good. I like that.
Baked, boiled, broiled, fried, laid to the side.
Laid to the side. Exactly.
So what's the rest of your week looking like, Silky?
Well, I am pleased to say that I will not be working next week. Which this is the first time in many, many years that I am taking the week of Christmas off.
Wait a minute, Christmas next show is good Lord.
I know it went so fast. I haven't bought anybody anything. Oh my God. Except grandma, she said, "Oh baby, I need a new Bible. Merry Christmas, grandma. Here's your new Bible."
Listen, just tie a ribbon around your ass, a big old bow, and say, "Listen."
Yep, this is it. But because normally I allow all the people that I work with, like my colleagues who have children, y'all take off. It's usually slow around this week, so I'll stay, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? I'm taking off. See ya.
Wouldn't want to be here.
I'm at that stage now. I'm not gonna take all the way through New Year's. I'll go in for 3 days the following week, and that'll be cool.
And Pop is bringing comfort and joy to a lot of people this year. You do that, every year, but I read it in my best pop head, so that makes me chuckle.
Exactly. I was there with you, Rezzy. Yes, yes, yes.
Some self-care. Wonderful.
Yeah, self-care. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of chill, hopefully I do a lot of nothing. One of my colleagues, her daughter is playing basketball, and so I intend to go and cheer her on and taste of the I'm bringing a lot of people joy to people and taste of the candy cane. Ho ho ho. Happy holiday.
How old is your daughter?
She is 12 or 13 and she's playing basketball. Now, the oldest girl is playing basketball in college now. She's a baller. So,
Nice.
I mean, a baller. So I'm excited about that. Speaking of going back to what you said, another author passed away last week. Anne Rice.
And Greg Tate. Yeah, Anne
Yes.
Rice. Vampire Chronicles.
The
Yes,
Vampire.
yes.
Remember that? Oh my God. I used to
Yeah, of course.
give myself nightmares listening to audio tapes of the Vampire Lestat. Remember that? Lestat.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom Cruise. That was a whole big thing.
Right.
Yes, yeah. And shout out to the friends and family of Greg Tate too, another author, true musician. I remember the first time I ever saw Michelle Ndegeocello. She was a part of his band.
Wow.
But definitely shout out to the friends and family of Greg Tate. It's another visionary lost.
Exactly. Misty J, if you are still listening, if you haven't signed off yet, and I know you're at work, sweetheart, but if you could call in and tell us about this Secret Santa with strangers, that's really secret.
Secret.
Really
or with people that she doesn't really consider friends. Like people at work.
Yeah, okay.
I walked to her house near the Garden District in New Orleans years ago. She was very gracious towards me. And who might that have been? Anne Rice? Or Michelle Ndegeocello? Or who else do we mention? Bell Hooks? Oh.
So okay, so how did you get them their gifts and how did you decide what to get?
You don't. You just think what's it? You haven't done a Secret Santa.
Do you
they tell you they go over a certain price, you know what I mean? And then, then you pick out of a hat whose name you get, and then you just buy the gift. So that you don't get anybody named Herman a bra, panties, gloves. You have to know if it's a male or female or whatever, but you gotta figure out who you're getting the gift for.
Yeah, I'm in the Secret Santa too.
Did you pick names?
No, somebody picked it for us, and quite frankly, the real secret is I ain't no Santa.
Real secret is Santa was your parents.
I know how people gonna say there's no Santa Claus. You got gifts. There was a goddamn Santa Claus. Don't worry about it. That's what I mean.
Santa Claus. Yet another reason. Nobody saw nobody coming through nobody's chimney.
I was like, Mom, we don't have no chimney. How's he gonna get in? Through the window. He gonna climb in the window and bring us stuff instead of take stuff.
Exactly.
That don't make no kind of sense, Mama. Anyway, man, yo,
man,
it's time to do what we do. But before we do, what are you doing for the rest of the week?
lady, I am in knee-deep construction right now. And that is all I've been doing for the last, my clothes have consisted of sweatpants and a sweatshirt and stuff for the last week and a half. And when I finish this, I'm going straight into my tub to start it again at 5:30. That's it.
I hear you. I hear you.
That's
I
it.
put the number up, Miss DJ, if you want to call in right quick. Got a few minutes.
And I would like peace on earth and voters' reparations and reparations for all the free labor. And I would like voters' rights restored. And I would like a secure Roe v. Wade. And I would like Texas and every other state and every other male on the planet to stay out of women's abortion rights. And I would like abundance for all.
I like this idea, Miss DJ, and I like your wish list, Terez.
Thank you. They purchase from the list. They don't even get your address.
Well, that's good. They don't need your address.
Mm-mm.
That's what's up.
You create a wish list. Oh, okay.
That's cool. All right. So with that, let's call it a night. How about that? And everybody get to relaxing.
90 seconds.
Look, we right on time. Lady said 90 seconds. All right, everybody, party people, have a good night. Enjoy the hump day. And we will see you again on Saturday.
Yes, and stay safe. Remember self-care and wash your hands and spread love all day the Papi Chulo way.
That's it.
Eddie Jackson, and you're in the basement with JaVonne and Terez for old time's sake.
Hey, everybody, this is Kenny Bobian, and you're listening to Brunch in the Basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Hi, this is Robin S., and you're listening to JaVonne and Terez in the basement. Show them love!
Can't deal with y'all. Hey, this is Avery Sunshine, and I am in the basement with JaVonne and Terez, shining.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and you're tuned in to Brunch in the Basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Hey, it's your girl Allison Williams, and you're in the basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Hey, this is Lenny Williams, and you're listening to Brunch in the Basement with JaVonne and Terez, playing my kind of music.
Still in the basement, no longer alone, with my homegirl Terez on the microphone. Music politics are just chatting it up. Brunch in the basement, see that's what's up. You never know who might run through. Legendary artist or someone brand new. You miss a lot when you miss one day. At least that's what I heard somebody say. But it doesn't really matter what whoever says. It's always a good show with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Brunch in the basement with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Let's see who we got today.
Come on, everybody's a friend in my head. I already know everybody. Whatever it is, it's gonna be good. One day I'll tell you about me and Shaka Khan, but you know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but she doesn't know anything about it. But anyway. No, she doesn't. She wasn't even there actually. But anyway, but she did mention none other than Shaka Khan as one of her.
Why you gotta say, wait a minute? Why you gotta say Shaka? She did mention no other than Shaka Khan. I'm like, where does your voice go? What happens? What's happening? Even the mere mention of her name. Silence. Oh gosh.
Would you believe I'm blushing?
Yes. Hard. You're speechless blushing. That's the thing. Speechless blushing.
Grazi, I can't help it.
There's a Shaka rehab, you know.
If there's a cure for this, I don't want it. I don't want it. All right.
Senses though, Jay. She's got our ears and
No,
our
I'm gonna send y'all some perfume. I'll definitely get an address. I'll send y'all out
You
tomorrow.
can send me some cologne, because I mean,
Cologne,
you know,
like cologne?
yeah.
I will
Just
do
in
that.
case I should meet Shaka Khan, I want to smell really, you know, nice.
Oh God.
Okie dokie, babe. Whatever you say.
Just wanted to wish everybody a happy Shaka Hanukkah. All right, thank you. Let's carry on. I'm sorry. I had to.
JaVonne, there's a pill you're going to be able to take for that.
I promise not to tell them which way you went, but they're coming for you.
The time, so
and we thank you for that.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. This part, that little piece, I'm just gonna keep and play it all the time for myself. But no, I'm just teasing.
And I think it's time, Terez, to do a little rapid fire with Mr. Richard Pryor Jr.
I think so. So
yeah.
Don't worry, we won't hurt you.